wouldn't do to offend somebody, Sean and I?
I mean, I don't offend people purposely.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of people take offence. And I think, well, you know, if they're going to take offence, tough.
I like this. I like this. We've run out of time. That's it. But I'd like to have spoken to you more. Thanks very much indeed.
My pleasure.
That's it. We're back next week when we're looking at animal rights. In the meantime, have a lovely weekend, and we hope we didn't frighten you with the horror show too much. There we are. The credits, they're all going over there spiffingly well. Right. That's it. Have a lovely weekend from all of us on the James Wales Show. Oh, thank you to the guests, Sean Hudson, Jerry Sadovich. Oh, that was dangerous. And to you for watching. A very good night. Bye-bye. Well, I think that went okay, really, didn't it?
All right.
Swimmingly well. Swimmingly well. They always do this silly bit of inane chat on programmes like this right at the end, and you don't know what's going on, you don't know what they're saying. Gesticulate. A lot of that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it then. We go outside, and we go and get a drink, and we get absolutely paralytic.
Oh, Perrier?
Oh, yeah, sure, why not? Oh, that was good, wasn't it? That was a wheeze. That was because a lot of people video the show. Now, there are two problems about the show being videoed. When they show it during the day, you never know who's watching, and it doesn't show up in the ratings. So we decided to really stuff it on the people who video the show. So they've all, at this moment, on a Saturday morning, they're yelling, jumping up and down, saying, "My video didn't work!" Oh, tough. Sean, thank you very much indeed for playing along with us.
Oh, my pleasure, mate.
We're going to talk more to Sean in a few moments, but first, let's start the programme proper.
Ladies and gentlemen, the James Whale Radio Show on horror.
Good. There we are, flying a capital flight. We had their capital flight, very good. And Wendy, who looked after us on one of the flights, who's in Dublin watching the programme tonight, hello to you. Right, Sean was saying, who's the women? I've come on the programme because I've got a lot of women on there, so if we bring on the bimbo tonight for...
What a good idea.
OK,
Yeah.
You'll enjoy this. And the phone call. And the phone call's very amusing. Look at that. I said let's have some thin women on the show. This is not, of course, a bimbo. We killed them off. A whalette with some phone calls. Got any phone calls? No? Can you get a shot of this over here? Doesn't he look pathetic? It's really quite silly. Look at this. Look at this. Just have a quick... Go on. There we are. Look at him in the corner. Very silly. Right. I forgot what we're doing now. Sean, who on Perrier...
Sorry, I know. It should be Jack Daniels, really. It's terrible for the image.
Is one of the most prolific horror writers in the country. He writes a book apparently every 38 days.
No, it's not every night. It takes me 38. No, it takes me
sorry.
38 days to write a book. I don't write a book every 38 days. No, I'll take the odd sort of day or two off, you know, and then come back and write another 3 or 4 during my lunch hour if I get really bored.
But the thing I like about Sean is he's not afraid to say he's doing it for the money, right?
Oh God, no.
Because
no.
I hate all these people giving
Well,
us crap
I'm certainly
about
not doing it
artistic-
for good taste, for Christ's sake. No, I mean, people say, you know, why do you do it? And they expect you to say for the literary merit. You know, I'm trying to enlighten the world. I'm not. I'm trying to make a load of dosh, quite honestly.
Yeah, well, you're doing that, and that's good. I mean, the thing is that you wrote about me here. You said your manager said you shouldn't do the... I've got it here, Sean. Listen, I have to tell you, I've got it here.
How did you
I've got it here, and he said, I've set up to do the James Wales Show. You know, and they didn't spell my name right in this either. You know, that really aggressive bloke, my manager didn't want me to do it, but I said, what can he call me, a short, hairy bastard? Or something like that. I mean, why would you do that?
I mean, short and hairy, I could, you know,
I wouldn't do
it's
that.
fair enough. I'd argue with the last bit, but...
I think your manager's giving you wrong advice. You want to get rid of him. Now, last week, we had a little problem with one of the cameras showing us in green. All right? We couldn't get it fixed, so this week, we've got them all showing us in green, and we thought that was good for horror.
Yeah.
So it's not your TV, it's the camera's not working. The other thing, of course, is that you said you'd get really upset and stick one on me if I wasn't nice about Everton. Is that right?
About Everton?
Or was it Liverpool?
No, it was Liverpool.
Oh, okay,
definitely.
fine. One of those football clubs. So I bought you a few presents just to make sure everybody realises that I'm not always aggressive and nasty on this programme.
Shucks.
All right.
Thanks, James.
So there's no pay for being on this. There's some more there.
Thank you,
right.
mate. You know, we actually have a thing in the book business called a dump bin.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought that I'd like to take a dump on this stuff you just give me, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Okay.
I shall treasure it.
Sure. We'll talk a little later, Sean. But first of all, tonight's programme is on horror. You know the number to ring if you want to tell us a horror story or what puts the willies up you. The number to ring is 0532 46 1000. It was funny, wasn't it?
Harvey Proctor.
Yeah, there we are, look at that. Looks like a politician, I know. Now, let's start off our horror tonight and see if this sort of puts the willies up you. It's from a film called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. See if you recognise any of the actors.
Hello, Noddy.
Yeah! That's very good, isn't it? Look, bit of the arm came off. Seriously though, horror is big business, and I'm not just talking about the funny horror movies of the 20s and 30s, which were quite funny. I'm talking about the horror movies and the horror books like Sean writes, which I've never really been into horror, but I've been reading them. I mean, they really are. They are designed to shock, aren't they? Yeah,
they are, yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, the dictionary definition of horror is physical revulsion, and if that's the case, I mean, my stuff works on that level.
Okay, well, physical revulsion is something, I don't know. Let's see our Wailette tonight. Guest Wailette tonight is Helen, and she is vamping for us tonight. Very nice, look at that. Oh, very nice, thank you very much indeed. Very good. We'll have a little nibble later, shall we? Yeah, good. Very nice, see more later. That's Helen. Mark from Douglas on the Isle of Man. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Jim.
Hi.
I believe your show's all about horror tonight.
That's very good, Mark, very good. Yes, one up for Mark, who's on the case. Thank you, Mark. Lisa from Norfolk. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Yes, Lisa, hi.
I'd like to ask the question of why horror films of today are so predictable, unlike films which make you jump nearly all but the moon.
Do you think they are predictable, though? I mean, have you seen many really gruesome horrors?
Well, you know what's going to happen, don't you? They're all the same.
Well then, I mean, listen, this is called Nemesis, right?
Oh, I would have to agree with it. You do know what's going to happen in most of them. That's basically because there's a load of dickheads making them. That's probably the reason why.
Yeah, a lot of dickheads writing them.
No, just making them. No.
Oh, making them, I see. Yeah. But I mean, I've never read a book where a man...
Nor have I.
Are you listening to this, Lisa?
I'm listening.
Now, last week we did a programme on taste, but listen, this book, at the end,
Yeah.
a man rapes a pregnant woman, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Whilst he's in the course... Well, take the story on.
Well, basically, I mean, says he's trying to be tasteful.
Tastefully?
Yeah, no, it's like a moral tale. I mean, this guy he's raping a 9-month pregnant woman, and he gets his organ torn off by the baby, which I think is very moral. Now, I think that's a very moral tale, you know? The moral of that being, don't rape 9-month pregnant women with superpowered fetuses inside.
Now, Lisa, that is pretty gruesome, isn't it?
Yeah, but that is a sick kind of horror film.
Oh, well, so that's what horror's all about.
Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. Can I have that as an endorsement on the back of the next book?
Thank you very much indeed, Lisa. What do you want to do now? What's going on? We got a little bit more smoke to give the atmosphere of horror. Pump it up a bit, okay? Now, Alice Cooper, an exclusive to the James Whale Show. Whoa! And the new video from Alice, and it's called House of Fire. Hey! Welcome to the Terry Wogan Show. We'll take a break. Whaleys on. Just a minute, Senovich.
Yes.
Just a minute.
Oh, lovely.
Hey.
Oh,
Go.
yes.
No. Oh, thank God for that.
I just love card tricks, me. Well, welcome back to part 2. I'm James Whale. As you can see, I still have my mask on. I'd like to start off with a little alternative card trick. These card tricks I do are very alternative. What happens is, instead of you pick a card and I find it, what happens is you pick a card and you bloody well find it. I also do very alternative large card tricks. Here's a little card trick with a big large card. 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4. I've been doing this now for about 12 years and I still don't know how it's done. But the point is, who gives a shite because it's absolute crap. Here's a little illusion with a newspaper. Just watch this very carefully. This is not actually a trick, I just absolutely hate newspapers. Also, balloon animals, which is what you actually want, isn't it? Because let's face it, entertainment is a very big word and only a few of us can crack it. So I'll give you a few balloon animals, ladies and gentlemen. I do 25,000 different balloon animals, all of them dogs. Arf, 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 arf. Flying cat. Meow. One-eyed trouser snake. Rottweiler. I've actually been described as the Rottweiler of stand-up comedy, which is quite true. I can go for a whole year on one baby. Here we go now. Balloon animals. To hell with that. Here's one I did earlier. Now, if there's any feminists watching in here tonight, see, comedy, you can do whatever you like. It's only comedy. Look, comedy. See? That's not really quite fair. I'm actually a non-sexist, non-racist comedian, which is a bit of a shame because I've got a brilliant joke about Tina Turner, but there you go. I'll give it to you anyway. What do you get across Tina Turner with an orangutan, an extremely ugly orangutan? Thank you very much. I do actually support feminists. It's just women that I actually hate, you know. I have to be absolutely honest with you. I can't give you any more sick jokes on the programme here tonight because of the nature of my act, you know. It's very offensive and disgusting, you know, and obviously sick jokes for the ambulance strike, you know, you can't like take any chances and stuff like that, but I think I actually do resent is American stand-up comedians, right, that come on chat shows like this one and try and cram their entire acts within 2 minutes, you know, 2 minutes, and they come up with these like really banal, trite observations that anyone can make. You don't have to be a comedian like, hey, you ever notice when it's raining, everybody gets wet? You know, why is that, you know? You ever notice when you're deaf, dumb and blind, it's real hard to do crossword puzzles? You know, it's really nice to be here in Scotland, England, and I've just flown in, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but have you noticed that American presidents never have pieces of fruit in front of their faces? Like, imagine if George Bush had a tangerine on his nose. I think he'd look something like this. Fellow Americans, I'm working real hard here tonight, I really am, you know. In this country, it's actually worse. You get a lot of comedians on chat shows that give you these observations that are not only absolute crap, but they're not even true. Like, I was in Australia there a few weeks ago, and I don't know if you've been there, right, but Australia is like full of jobbies, you know. Like my grandmother comes from Australia, and it's extraordinary, because my grandmother's got a huge willy. It's like huge. And she's not even human, she's like a huge jobby, is what she is, you know. And I actually have jobbies for breakfast and things like that. I don't actually like Billy Connolly too much. I actually don't like any members of the royal family particularly. But I'd like to finish off with a little tribute to the late, great Tommy Cooper, okay? Late, great Tommy Cooper. Here we go. Tribute. Yellow rabbit, white rabbit, yellow rabbit.
Come and sit down.
That was sick, by the way.
That was pretty sick.
I could have been dead down there. Nobody got to help me.
Yeah. The problem is, Jerry, now you come and sit down cosily on the sofa.
Yes.
And we're knackered, aren't we? Because it suddenly turns into a very cosy little chat show.
Does it?
Yeah, well, it does if you didn't have this sex doll lying across the both of you.
Yeah. Well, I might use it.
You know. I mean,
this is actually Daphne. You know, Daphne and myself are currently contesting the leadership for the Tory party. And I reckon we stand a really good chance.
Yes, so do I.
Actually,
Actually, this man is extremely sexist and he shouldn't be allowed on the
Shut up! Got a little joke for you, right? Why do feminists have a little kind of wispy moustache on their upper lips? So you know exactly where to kick them. It's a good one, isn't it?
Anyway, on that point, I didn't really want to get into it too much. They say you're the most dangerous man on TV.
Bollocks.
Yeah, everybody's got to have a label. Why don't you?
I don't actually understand what dangerous comedy is or what safe comedy is. You know, I mean, what's the difference? You know, dangerous or safe? You know, like if I cut your head off, you know, that's very dangerous.
That's dangerous. Well, some of the people out there, you see, get very offended if you use sort of F words and C words and those sort of things on television.
Yeah.
What they
I want to know what I want to know is what they're doing, sitting up this time of the night, watching this programme.
Well, just making sure that we don't say any of those words.
I mean, you need to get to your beds now. You see,
of course.
Get into that. Go to the bed.
Of course. Anyway, listen.
Go to the post office in the morning to get the stamps for the letters to Barry Took's points of view. You know. I'm sorry. Carry on. Post Chernobyl, Ken Dodd. By Jove, madam.
Okay,
Sorry.
continuing on the subject of horror tonight, which we were. Are you all right there?
Oh, fine.
Good, yes. We went down to have a little look and nose around the set of a new horror film in Wales. And the film is called The Revenge of Billy the Kid. And we'd like to also do this as a tribute to Barry Norman. And why not?
Whaley goes to town.
Tape's running. Joe's running. Billy the Kid, take one.
Well, welcome to Wales. In fact, South Wales, just north of Abergavenny. And here we are on the set of the new British horror movie, The Revenge of Billy the Kid. With me is the director, Jim, who's going to show me around. Well, this is Pete. Unfortunately, he's well past his sell-by date, and why not? And they've thrown him out on the compost heap, as you used to in the early days, before funerals and stuff like that. Jim, is this not a health hazard?
It could be. He certainly has seen better days, that's for sure.
He does smell. I mean, I don't like to say anything. We're
Funky
getting
bit.
bogged in here, but he smells a little.
He did before as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yes, probably the best place for him. So, Pete's character in the movie, what does he play? Or, sorry, what did he play?
He used to be the granddad of the McDonald family, which is the family of farmers here.
Uh-huh.
The reason he's sitting on the compost heap here is really for a time lapse. We need to see Billy, our creature, disappear and over a period of 6 months to a year come back.
Perhaps we should just explain for the viewer who's still with us and not throwing up in the bathroom at the moment that Billy, The Revenge of Billy the Kid, is the story of a family who live on an island somewhere off the southwest coast.
Yes.
One night, the father of the family gets a little tanked up, a little bit like Nina, and decides he takes a fancy to the family goat. And why not? A lot like Nina. Anyway. Anyway, he has a little liaison with this goat, and the result, Billy the Kid. Am I right?
That's correct.
This is the man with the words, isn't it?
One of the men.
Ross. How
How
are
you doing,
One of the
James?
men.
Nice to meet you.
Good. Well, here we are in this wonderful farmhouse. A great idea to use an existing farmhouse for.
What do you think of it? It's
And
great,
why
isn't it?
not? It's I just want to keep getting those in.
And why not?
It's
Great, isn't it? Isn't it
yes.
great?
You must have spent a lot of time doing this up, making this into a set, mustn't you? Getting the.
We should, if we said that, we'd
dressing
probably
it.
win a BAFTA for production design, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
No, it's what you see pretty much is how we found it.
Somebody actually lives here, don't they? In this wonderfully characterful place.
Great.
And why not?
He's at Market at the moment.
Is it?
But this, as I say, I mean, we've kept about
Believe this.
99% of what you see is how we found it.
It must be. These are firelights, so it can't be. And they're stuffed behind the chairs.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, it's.
That's it.
Yeah. You done a horror film before, or not?
Yeah, I've done lots of them.
Yeah.
Vincent Price is my favourite one.
Uh-huh.
I love him. They're such far, they're crazy.
Huh?
Well, there's no reality anyway in this world we live in. You know, making love. What did Mel Oberon say? Making love at 8:30 in the morning when someone's got halitosis.
And you picked the goat. Oh, that's another story.
Did you know about that? At 8:30 in the morning.
You did it at 8:30 in the morning.
Monday morning.
Oh, damn, hey, that's awful. That's awful. Are you enjoying this? I mean, you enjoy. You're.
You'd have to be enjoying it because I mean, you're living in thick mud, and you had to be stage struck.
Uh-huh.
I've been stage struck for 65 years.
Well, here we are. Let me introduce you to Tim, who is the producer of The Revenge of Billy the Kid. How long have you been a film producer, Tim?
This is my first venture into producing, especially on feature-wise.
Yeah.
My background is primarily post-production as an assistant director on other projects.
You enjoying this?
It's an experience. Yeah.
Worrying. The producer carries the can, doesn't he? I mean, if the thingamabob hits the fan, it's your head, isn't it?
In the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
They
it
tell
is.
me that's why you always look worried, but not quite as
yeah,
worried as our friend
I've lost
over
a
there.
few pounds on this. Yeah.
Now, you thought that was the producer, didn't you? But this is one of the stars of the show. This is Billy the Kid when he was young. Is that right?
Yeah, this is size 2.
Yeah.
What we call size 2.
What? What? You don't like Nina Mishkov either? Yes, yes. Yes, and why not? But in case you thought this was real, and when you look at those nasty movies on the television, you get very frightened by them and have to hide under the chairs and stuff like that. If you pan back a little bit, you'll be able to see that it takes 4 strong men and true. Does it always take this many, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of movement going on.
Yeah.
And you can see all the cables, so each one needs to be pulled for an action to take place.
And they look like good cable pullers to me. Well, as night draws in and the mist rolls down from the Welsh hillsides here on the set of The Revenge of Billy the Kid, we say farewell.
And why not?
In fact, we return to the birth of Billy the Kid. Was he in fact born? Did he manage to come out in one piece? Neil, any luck yet? What's happening?
It's a boy.
Oh, I'm gonna be ill. Oh.
46,000. James Whale.
Now, I'd never really been, into this horror stuff, and I found out, and it's all very tongue-in-cheek. I don't know whether it actually does frighten people, but, if it does, give us a call. Come on, Whale it. Let's get the calls in. And the fax number, we haven't faxed yet, have we? The fax number's coming up on your screen. There's the phone number. The fax number there, 0532 421 830. Can you send us a fax during the show tonight that is horrific? Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did you want to say quickly into my microphone? Oh, you've got one there, but I just wanted to... Yeah, go on.
Speaking to my... No, I just wanted to say hi, Simon.
Hi, Simon. That's maybe what she told you, Simon, but don't believe a word of it. Right, OK, Craig from Glasgow. Hello, Craig.
I'd just like to say that I thought that the last comedian was very talented. But
so did we. Thank you, Craig, very much indeed. And that was Jerry Sadovich's brother. And nice of him to phone in as well. While we're getting all the plugs on the programme tonight, my wife said to me, could you please plug my band? I didn't know she'd become a groupie, but there we are. Last Taste, they're appearing. There's the thing. OK, that's it. I said I'd mention them for them. Now, Simon from Newcastle. Hello, Simon.
Hi, Jim.
Yes, Simon.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, what puts the willies up you, Simon?
Well, what I'm ringing to say is I was involved in a bit of amateur dramatics when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And I
you wait till the end of this show. You wait till the end of this show.
Well, I starred in a school production of a Dracula type play, you know.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you'd had any similar experiences when you were a kid, you know, whether you were on the stage in any
Oh dear, I've lost that call. Oh, I'm so sorry, Simon. I'm very sorry. It's unfortunately, I wasn't going anywhere. Did you suddenly get the feeling, Sean, that
for what, James?
That was Simon, by the way. Sean, the feeling for writing me. Did you suddenly think I can be so gross, so disgusting, so really horrific? I mean, these are pretty horrific.
I was just blessed with a warped mind.
Yeah.
And I have the ability to actually be able to use this, sort of pit of depravity to make some money with, basically.
Because you've been taking psychiatric...
I had psychiatric... Yeah, I was given psychiatric advice. I mean, like, a lot of people have been giving me advice before, which is like, stop writing, but a psychiatrist actually said that if I stopped writing, that would cure me of my manic depression. Well, actually, if I'd have stopped writing, I'd now either be in Broadmoor or in Rampton or something.
Okay, good, Sean, thank you.
Necrophilia, you know.
And that's a dead loss. Pete from Walsall. Hello, Pete.
Hello, James. Morning.
Thank you, Pete. That's good. Right, John from Middlesex. Hello, John.
Hello.
Let's get to the point. John, what do you want to say?
I was just wondering, what's your most frightening experience?
My most frightening experience?
Probably this, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this one, probably. Yeah. I think it's when our wailette tonight, Helen, actually took off her cape, bent over, and tied her shoelace. That was one of my most frightening experiences.
Could I possibly ask Sean there?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Sean?
I'm writing a science fiction horror at the moment.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you can give me any tips.
You don't, basically. No, I can't. I mean, I don't feel qualified as a writer to tell you how to write.
Good, fine. Thank you very much indeed. That was good, Sean. We'll take a break back after this.
Don't forget, you can give us your views on horror by phoning 0532 46 1000. Back in a mo.
46,000. James Whale.
It's competition time!
It's not working, is it? At all. I mean, come on, for goodness sake. You thought this was the beast from 50,000 fathoms. It's supposed to put smoke to make it look grotesque. Oh, here, take it. We're not having any luck. Now, competition time. Last week we asked you for the what was it? The way you make Beaujolais Nouveau, and I thought it was a fairly boring thing to do. You want to see the label of that? We're getting some more free? Good. Okay. And I didn't think anybody'd write in, but 5 people actually did bother to write in to the competition, which I dropped the answers of them on the floor. So I think we're going to send everybody one. One what? Oh, a packet of this new James Whale Late Night Entertainment Beaujolais flavoured condoms. That's ridiculous. Okay, the people who wrote in, thank you very much indeed for that, clever devils, all of you. But the person we're going to give it to, what are we going to give them, by the way? I forgot what we're giving them. The Sunday Sport thing and the Viz comic and a Duran Duran video, yeah? And one of Sean's books.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then everybody will get a packet of Late Night Entertainment. But the one who's won the whole lot is Mr. Frost. Hi, David. From Sutton in Ashfield in Nottinghamshire. He's the winner. Okay, put that on there, winner. Thank you very much indeed. This week's competition, dead easy. And we've got a few more of those Duran Duran videos to give away. You may remember we showed you Girls on Film last week. We've had a lot of requests to show that again, and I don't think we dare, but it is included in this. And all you have to do, we've got a couple of these to give away and a few albums by Duran Duran as well. All you have to do is write and tell me the name of the director of the Frankenstein horror movie of 1931. 1931. By the way, happy birthday to Fellini for Sunday. So, do you know who it was? It's a famous name, wasn't it, Sean?
Yeah, I've just thought I just won.
Famous name.
Girls on Film, can I have mine now?
Famous name. Yeah, we'll give you some afterwards.
Oh,
Filth after the show.
Oh, well in order.
Send it to this address, okay? Wales Mail, where is it? There we are. Care of Yorkshire Television, the Television Centre, Leeds, LS3 1JS. All right? That's all you have to do. Send me the calls now. Helen, bring the calls in. Thank you very much indeed. Who directed the 1931 Frankenstein movie? That's right. Good. Now, we've got a few calls. Shall we go to this? We've got Sean in here. John from Old Trafford. Hello, John.
Yeah, good morning, James there.
Yeah.
If you directed a horror movie, what role would you play? And what part would you give the exquisitely lovely Waylette Helen to play in the film?
She's good, isn't she? There we are.
Beautiful.
Yes, yeah, a little vampire.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, wench. What would I play? I think I'd have to play. I'd like to be that guy from, you know, Freddy. What's his name?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger. I think I'd like that with the fingers and all that.
The mad gynecologist.
Yeah. Because you look. No, I'm not being rude.
I think so, like a gynecologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to look up a few friends every now and then. That's what it is.
What role would you suggest for Helen?
Helen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Could you give her an instant audition?
I don't know, really.
You'd have to bring back the casting couch, really.
Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll let you know the outcome of it next week. Thank you very much indeed, John. Susan from Manchester. Hello, Susan.
Hello, James. I think that deep down you're a werewolf, so I was wondering, why not prove it to me and show me your hairy back?
My hairy back?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you... should we show the hat? No. We'll keep you waiting next week, maybe, if you're lucky. Thank you very much indeed. We haven't got any really horrible faxes yet. We don't video the show, we watch live. Stephen King is the best horror story writer this century. Love the show.
Did that come from Broadmoor?
This comes from Stephen King's mother.
It must do, yeah.
Yeah. Are you in competition with Stephen King?
Well, not really, no. I mean, what he does is really nothing
Crap,
compared
you
to
said.
what I do. Yeah,
I think that's what you said. You're right, Jerry.
Fine, aye.
You sure? Because I was a bit worried. You looked a bit picky earlier, and they said you weren't too well.
I'd like my inflatable doll back, please. If you
Yeah. Just go sit over there. All right. Just go. Okay, go and sit over there. All right. Is that all right? That's it. Okay, fine. Now, Tony from Hull. Hello, Tony.
Hello, James.
Yes, Tony.
I'd just like to say I thought Kojak had just finished.
You thought the what?
Kojak had just finished.
Sorry, Tony. Say it a bit louder. I mean, don't lose the joke, Tony. And you. Right. Tony, that was Tony from Hull. Make a note of Tony's number, will you? And I'll ring him back and make rude phone calls after the programme. Mark from Hucknall, which is in Nottinghamshire. Hello, Mark.
Morning, James.
Yes, Mark.
You was asking earlier what puts the willies up people.
Careful, Mark.
Well...
I know what I meant. I'm just worried about what you mean.
Well, thank you, James.
Yes.
Well, I'm talking about the old... vampire films, you know, the really old ones.
Yeah, you probably can remember those. Right, thank you very much indeed, Mark. Alison, he doesn't like the old vampire films. Did they really put the willies up, anybody?
Well, they did at the time. Put the willies up old vampires, probably.
Well, yeah. Because, I mean... Jerry, do you ever watch any of this horror stuff or not?
Well, funny you should mention that, because I'm on at the Dominion Theatre on the 29th of November.
You're not?
At the end of this month, doing my award-winning one-man comedy show, which is, there's going to be a lot of horror featured in that.
Yeah?
You know, lots of horror, and just about everything...
Do we get free tickets, me and Sean? Do we get free tickets to come to this?
No.
Oh, you're not having any more. Alison from Buckingham. Hello, Alison.
Hello, James.
Yes, Alison.
I'd just like to tell you about the worst horror show I've ever seen.
Oh, hang on. This will be good. Yes, Alison.
Little and Large.
Can't disagree with that.
Little and Large, the worst horror film you've ever seen.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed, Alison. That's the sort of call we want to this programme. Jerry in Manchester. Hello, Jerry.
Yeah, hi there, James.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd just like to know whether Sean takes seriously some of the stuff he writes. You know,
That's a good question.
Seriously as his readers.
Do you? I mean, do you?
I take the work deadly seriously while I'm sitting behind the typewriter, but I don't. You can't. I mean, it's so far over the top. It becomes funny. You can't throw up and laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I've tried. Believe me.
Jerry, do you take it seriously? I mean, do you read it? I mean, do you read it when this book Nemesis? I mean, pretty gruesome. Some of the horrific scenes like that bit.
Assassins even more.
Is it?
Yeah, and that's cheaper. £3.50 available at all bookshops at the moment.
I haven't got anything to plug. Nice to see you all in Stockton on Monday, and when we were at Henry Africa's as well in Scunthorpe on Thursday. Thank you. Anybody else want to plug anything? No, okay.
Just all my back catalogue, but we haven't got time for that, really.
Yeah, well, can I just place a vote for the blow-up doll to be leader of the Conservative Party then?
Well, I don't know. You'll probably find somebody who nobody's ever heard of trying to come up and
Just cracked that joke earlier.
You did actually, didn't you,
Yeah.
Jerry? That's nicking it. That's nicking it out of here, Jerry. That's interesting, isn't it? Right. Now, any more faxes there, or I'm going to actually take a little break. Is that all right if I take a break here? Well, I can. We haven't put a Q dot up. Oh, if you look in the corner, in the corner of your screen, you see a little dot coming up somewhere. Well, hang on. No, it's up, probably up there, actually. There, okay. And you see a little dot in the corner, and that means a break's coming. Horror picture. Ooh. Kylie Minogue.
Oh God.
Okay, Watch Out Network. Here we go. We're taking a break.
461000. He's waiting for your call now.
Continuing our theme of horror, folks, is me sitting by a headstone, all right? And it's for a Hartley, and I was going to actually read the yellow pages and say, I still can't find out that bloke who made those fishing books, and I didn't find it very funny, so I'm not doing that. Wales Mail. Now, we'd like to hear from you, what you want to see on the show, what you think of the show, anything you want to write to me. All the weird and wonderful letters that you keep coming in, and every letter we read out on the show, we send back a late night entertainment pack too. What are you doing that for? That's sexist. Right, Mail, thank you very much. Come over here. What are you doing? This is, that's better. I thought that was quite a good idea. I thought you'll try and do it differently. The address to send your letters into is coming up on the screen now. There we are. Wales Mail, etc., etc. Now, Chris Purvis in Gateshead said, how can anybody call you untasteful when your show is brilliant, full of good videos, and you have such good-looking whalettes? Yes, obviously. James from Ballymoney in Northern Ireland says, I thought the part on the show where that great-looking male nude was walking around the bushes and across the bridge was great. A lot of people thought that. I didn't like that bit particularly myself, I must say. And Chris Talbot in Milton Keynes says about taste. How can anybody in Milton Keynes talk about taste? But anyway, I digress. I was sitting in the zoo bar in Milton Keynes and they were showing various videos, one of which was about bullfighting, which I found disturbing. Speared bulls losing a great deal of blood, being teased by matadors, should not be shown in a public bar. Now, I agree with you. In fact, next week, a serious plug for next week's show, we're looking at animal rights. And if you have any views on that, write to us in the week or call us. Now, what did you say? Oh, yeah, that's a very good point. And in a show in a couple of weeks, we're talking about role reversal. Would you like to reverse your role?
Absolutely not.
No, okay. Could you roll? No, never mind. That'd be silly, wouldn't it, really? And any guys there who are house husbands, who are doing the washing up, doing the cleaning, all that sort of stuff, which is, of course, as we men know, woman's work. If you want to come on the programme and tell us what it's like to actually have adopted the woman's role, being a house husband, write and let us know. Good. Anything else I need to get out? Anybody else need? You all right, Jerry, over there?
I'm fine.
Good, good. What about a quick card trick or something? I don't know.
No.
No, sure. If you change your mind, let me know. Just
actually, I would like to point out that I am actually, and I brought this along, I'm actually a member of the Magic Circle.
Oh, good.
And I think it is honestly disgraceful that women are still not allowed to join it.
Yeah. 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 I like you. That's nice. That's good. I'm going to move over here. You can come and sort of slink over here.
Cheap but cheerful.
Cheap but cheerful. You're going to like this, Sean. This is another bit from that horror movie we showed earlier on, which is called, I forgot what it is called now, actually. So, I bought a vampire, I bought a vampire motorbike, that's right. Now, if you thought last week's show, which was On Taste, and I noticed the Sunday Mirror got it wrong, I noticed the Sunday Mirror said it was on porn. And if I find you getting the facts wrong again, I'm going to put Eve Pollard across my knee and give her a good spanking. This is pretty tasteless, so you may want to cover your eyes on this. Just have a little look at this.
Naughty. Naughty.
Sean, I mean...
That's beautiful. I want a copy of that.
You want a copy of that?
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Elphick will never be the same again, will he?
Was that him down the bog? No, that was great. I love that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these aficionados of these go for sort of 24-hour horror...
Oh, yeah, well, I saw one called Mongolitis, which was set 15 minutes just set in a toilet. And that was all about that, but that was about a bloke who injected himself with liquid shite.
Yeah.
And sort of broke out in huge separating boils. It was great, yeah. I went and had my dinner after that.
Yeah, your mind is obviously...
Sick, I think is the word you're struggling for, James, actually. Yeah.
You were laughing at that. I don't know what you thought you were laughing at. I mean, you were just... Well, she was laughing.
She was.
Are you supposed to laugh at that?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't take it seriously. I mean, mind you, if I looked down the bog and found mine were jumping about, I wouldn't be very happy about it, I'll tell you.
Okay, this is Megadeth.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And no more Mr. I'll do that again.
Nice guy.
Oh, just a minute. No more Mr. Nice Guy from the horror movie Shocker.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I mean, you wouldn't get Wogan doing it himself, would you, really? I mean, Wogan has somebody else to do it, but look, there we are. Horror tonight. We got the green tint on the cameras. Thank you. And the phone calls. Thank you. There we are. Right, and the faxes are coming in thick and fast. That's a particularly nasty one. You know, horror is a very funny thing to very funny people, isn't it? That's probably for animal rights next week. That's enough of that. But anyway, Simon from Berkshire. Hello, Simon.
Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, Simon. I'm well after this. I wouldn't have thought anybody living in the rather splendid place like Berkshire would know anything about horror at all.
Well, I grew up in the 70s watching late-night horror films on the cult circuit, films like Zombie Flesh Eaters and The Living Dead of the Manchester Morgue. Why do people think we're strange when me and a couple of mates of mine, we hold quite respectful jobs now in the 80s?
What I want to know is, actually, I'm glad you called in, Simon, who asked about this sensibly. When you see a lot of these horror movies depict people doing funny things to each other, like cutting limbs off, sawing off heads, you know, stiletto heels, gouging out eyes. I'm not going over the top too much, am I?
No. They could go a lot further than that.
A lot further than that. You know, what's the most horrific thing you've ever written?
I can't repeat it. Rape by chainsaw.
Rape by chainsaw.
Yeah. I like the research for that.
But didn't you, I mean, don't you feel, a lot of, seriously though, a lot of the critics and the people who wish to set the standards, you know, the critics, say this is encouraging people to go out there and do this sort of thing.
You need several screws loose if a book is going to push you over the edge. I mean, like, especially one of mine. True. With a video, it's different. Yeah. Maybe, but nah.
What do you think, Simon? Do you think that's right? Do you think that some of these books can actually push you over the edge or not?
No, I don't think so. I mean, considering what we've had in the House of Commons this week, I mean...
I can't wait to see the outcome of this leadership election for the Conservative Party.
Indeed.
I wonder myself, being a little... It's got nothing to do with horror, although I don't know. Whether it's all a ploy, you know, put up this poor guy, nice guy, who's got no hope in hell in winning, and everyone's going to say, way! She's still favourite.
It'll probably turn out to be Freddy Krueger.
You think so?
Yeah.
Similarity. Thank you very much indeed, Simon. Jason from Chertsey.
Morning, James.
Jason, how are you?
All right, thank you.
Good.
I'd just like to say on the subject of horror how appropriate it was that Nina was chosen to stand in a show the other week, because she actually resembles a whale.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, Jason. I don't know what she's done to upset you all. I mean, I think she's a lovely, lovely person. Now, we're not going to get a car trip by any chance, are we? Come on, show us. Show us.
Theme of horror.
Ah, sod horror. Look, I've had enough of that now. Just show us one before we go. We've got to go. Just one card trick.
Quick card trick.
All right, yeah.
Right, just remove any card in the pack you like, James. Anyone at all. Pay attention to that. It's just playing with itself at the moment.
Right. Well, I love that one. Okay, fine.
Okay. That's right. And show it to me. That is.
Oh, sorry. Well, quickly. I'll take another one. Sorry about this, Jerry. I get very nervous doing this. Okay. Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Back.
I've got 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Remember the cards?
Yeah.
Remember the cards? Okay, we're going to find it. Right, watch. Da-da-da-da-da. 10 of diamonds?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
Right, hold out your hand then. Da-da-da-da-da. Bloody hell, that was it, was it?
Oh, that was it. That's, yeah. Well, now, give him a nice rest. Good. Okay. Right. Now, before we go, apparently the Tommy Cooper Appreciation Society have rung to complain about Jerry's joke. Sorry about that. Now, Sean wrote us a very nice horror movie to finish off the programme with, in which I star. Have a nice weekend. Join us next week. In the meantime, goodbye.
The voices were there again. 3 times he dialed, and on each occasion he'd been greeted by a tangle of hisses and static. And those voices, always the same ones. Getting across line once was bad enough, but 3 times? Frank Watson waited a moment, then picked up the receiver and dialed again. There was a persistent whine, an almost rhythmic burble of static. And once more, the voices. But this time, Watson did not replace the phone. He pressed it more firmly to his head, annoyed at his inability to reach the number he wanted, but also intrigued. Then he heard another voice. It was low, guttural, almost animalistic. Watson couldn't think of a more apt word to describe it. He felt the hairs at the back of his neck rise. The voice was almost inhuman. He wasn't sure what the voices were speaking about. He hadn't been taking that much notice of their conversation. Not until he heard the word murder. Frank realized his hand was shaking. Words came floating to him as the conversation continued. It was like trying to piece together a verbal jigsaw. Words like death, victim. Watson found that his breathing had become more rapid. He wanted to put down the phone, slam it down onto the cradle and cut out the voices and the words, but he couldn't. It was as if this cryptic dialogue held some kind of hypnotic grip over him. He needed to listen. The first voice said something about it being untraceable. Watson wondered what he meant. The second voice, that hideous growl, mentioned what? The static snarled to obscure the word, but Watson kept listening, and he heard it again. Blood. The words stopped abruptly. The voices were silent. Could they hear him? He swallowed hard, his breathing now uncontrollable. He wanted to put the receiver down. He had to, but the voices were beginning again. Death, untraceable, murder. Then he heard his own name spoken. This time he cried out aloud, both in shock and horror, as he tried to slam the receiver down, but it would not budge. It was as if someone had glued it to the side of his head. Panic gripped him as he used both hands to try and tear it away. And then the earpiece seemed to open like a mouth, closing over his ear, and, with a realization that seemed to numb his brain, Frank Watson felt something pressing against his inner ear. Something which was heaving itself from the receiver. And then his eardrum was destroyed, burst, devoured by whatever it was that was burrowing rapidly towards his brain. Somewhere, a phone was ringing.